What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Battlefight 3000.
Battlefight 3000.
The bi-weekly podcast that challenges the status quo when it comes to versus battles.
We are Chris.
And Dave, your beloved host, and we will be taking you on a magical journey through the most requested battles in history.
Or, the ones that interest us the most.
So without further ado,
let's start the show! What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. As you guys know, hopefully by this point, it's been a few episodes. We do a show based on fights kind of like the great TV shows Deadliest Warrior and Animal Face-Off. Dave, what were those shows about?
Well, it's practically a panel of experts in different fields for Animal Face-Off. It's engineers and zoologists speaking about qualities and strengths on different animals and how they would fare in a fight. Mm-hmm. For Deadliest Warrior, same thing. You had people that were experts in martial arts or guerrilla warfare. You had a guy running a simulation in a computer, and at the end of the episode, based on a lot of research, they would let you know who would fight in a versus battle.
And we do the exact same thing, right?
Yeah. The only difference is that neither one of us is an expert on anything, and we definitely do not run any simulations.
Pretty good at masturbating.
Yeah. It just doesn't help for the podcast.
Yeah.
Unless it was a battle of two hands versus one hand, but even still,
okay.
I use fingers, not hands. It's just not enough in there to use the full hand.
I got you.
Thank you. Sorry. Really.
Anyways, so what we do is like those shows, but we do it with fictional characters or weird ideas and just debate on who would win in a fight.
Which, more often than not, I win.
That's not true.
But
votes have been tabulated. Shows that people prefer me. No, in this, we haven't put them live, but in this apartment we're recording in, it's been decided.
My mom texted me last night and said I was really good.
I feel like there's room for your mom joke, but I'm not witty enough to come up with it. Okay, so what are we doing first? We've got our prelim, which is a little appetizer, and then we launch into the main battle. Dave, what's our main battle this week?
The main battle is going to be Mr. John Rambo from the Rambo collection of movies.
Franchise, yeah.
Versus Mr. John Matrix from a little movie I like to call Commando.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
An 80s treat. Both of them.
All right. Well, I say we get on to the prelim.
For today's prelim, what do we got? We got Mr. Frank Ocean, singer, songwriter, extraordinaire. Trendsetter. Social media sensation.
Mm-hmm. I don't know much about him.
Me neither.
Okay.
Who is he fighting today?
The Ocean.
Oh, so Frank Ocean versus the Ocean.
Yeah. You may ask which ocean. Any of them. They're all large bodies.
Even the Indian Ocean?
Oh, yeah.
What about the Black Ocean?
That's the Black Sea, so no.
Yeah,
tricky.
Good one.
You can go Atlantic, Southern,
Pacific,
Arctic, Pacific, Indian, whatever ocean you need. He's going to be fighting it.
Why could he not fight a sea? It's just like
because
kind of like welterweight versus heavyweight. It's just not in the same category.
Kind of. Mainly it's because his last name's not C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's wordplay. It's pretty good wordplay.
Yeah, I like it.
Question.
Yes.
And on the count of three, we're both going to answer it. Who you got? A 1, a 2, a 3. Frank Ocean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Why do you think the ocean?
Well, I mean, because it's the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's moody. It's unpredictable. It's beautiful.
It's like a teenage girl. Minus the beautiful part, guys. I did not expect them to add the beautiful part.
I'm sending this straight to the police.
Anyways.
How do you recover from that, Chris Hansen? Any?
That
But
shit's done.
what I was trying to get to at here is that if you drop Frank Ocean in the middle of the ocean, he's dead. He's done. First of all, do we know if he knows how to swim?
Okay, this is explicitly why I chose Frank Ocean, because I want to be on the right side of history, and I don't want to put it out there as a possible joke that a black man doesn't know how to swim. I'm sure he knows how to swim.
You know what? I'll save you from it. It doesn't matter if he knows how to swim or not. Because if you're stranding in the middle of the ocean, even if he had a bodyboard or anything, or like floaties, it doesn't matter. Waves crashing, seas rising, currents, whales, sharks, seals.
Whale sharks.
The animals, not the singer.
Well, you don't know that.
He could be the
He could be there as well. He
We
could
don't
be
know
the
what he
guardian of
does.
the ocean. He could be the real Aquaman.
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like Frank Ocean would do it because he's got to be a powerful swimmer. My theory is, if you're rich, you know how to swim and you know how to swim well. I think it's pretty much once you hit that $1 million, boom.
Your stamina
Automatically.
automatically gets amazing.
You know
to the
everything
point where
about
you can
swimming.
just-
Interesting fact, one of the great swimmers who actually almost made the British Olympic swimming team, Stephen Hawking. Because he was rich, he knew how to do it. On land, bit of a mess.
But
in the water,
keyword there
a
being
graceful
almost.
mermaid.
He
Yeah.
didn't make the Olympic team.
But like pretty close.
Yeah, but like he didn't.
Okay, well, still, I think my point stands. Any rich person could swim the ocean.
All I'm saying is we don't have any. There's no precedent of Frank Ocean swimming thousands of laps,
Yeah, that's true.
right? And also, what if he gets a cramp? What if the current drags him down?
A cramp? You know that his fitness and nutrition is off the charts.
I don't know
Again, rich. He could buy a boat immediately.
Are there
Boom.
pictures of him on the internet without his shirt off?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. Realistically,
Doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, in a storm. Yeah, do you remember that TV show Deadliest Catch or something?
I
like
do.
that? All right, one of them boats sank the other day. The ocean took it away.
Really?
You know why? Because they were fucking around in rough seas, and the ocean don't take no shit.
Is this Frank Ocean? I have literally no idea.
I also have no idea what it
We're
looks
gonna go
like.
with yes. No.
So I just want to say that you didn't want to be the one saying that black people can't swim, but you will pull up a picture of a random black person and say, "Yeah, I think this is Frank Ocean."
I looked up Frank Ocean shirtless. So, let me check.
And strangely enough, that is not the gayest thing that's on your browser history.
Real guy. It's him, I think.
Oh!
I'm pretty sure. Although, yes. I'm going to assume yes. Anyways,
I don't know.
yeah,
He doesn't have the body of a
realistically-
swimmer. He doesn't
yeah,
have the body of a
no,
swimmer.
You need that lean muscle. Yeah, realistically, I'm going to pick the ocean. I just don't want to be the person who says a black man can't swim because I'm sure he can.
I just think realistically, even if you could swim, you can't fuck with the ocean.
The ocean is a cruel mistress, but she's also got her good side. She gives you unbelievable bounty, but you just don't try to swim in her.
You just gotta respect the ocean.
Yeah,
Gotta respect her.
people get fucked in the ocean like
Fuck yeah.
when they're like
on the daily.
50 meters away from shore. You go middle of the ocean? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Dude,
I mean,
whales live in the ocean, and sometimes they
whales are
fuck
nice.
themselves up.
whales are nice. They're our friends.
I like them.
I love
have
whales.
nothing against them.
That sounds like it.
I like sharks.
Well,
I'm just saying, I'm
wouldn't
like,
fuck around
they
with a
live
shark.
in there, and they sometimes fuck themselves up. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, well.
Yeah, I think there's literally no way the ocean loses. But,
Unless a pod of dolphins finds him and take him to shore.
and
but
he
like,
rides them?
Oof.
Oh, like
Oof.
a jet ski?
Talk about a music video.
Oh, my God. I would get into Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm running the iterations through our computer. And
Beep, bop, beep, bop, bop, beep, beep.
oh, it's still going.
Beep, beep, bop, bop, bop,
Oh,
beep,
it sounds
bop.
like it's struggling right now.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, and that's the good sound at the end.
All right.
And the ocean wins always.
I knew it. I knew it. How many data points did we enter into the simulation?
I believe 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a new record. And really, I think that's it for the prelim. It's a short win because there's no way the ocean loses.
Fucking right.
All right.
Ocean wins.
Up next, what we got?
Well, we have the main battle. John Rambo versus John Matrix. The Battle of the Johns.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
And it's time for the main battle.
The main event of the evening.
El Battle Mano.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I speak Spanish.
Thank you. That meant nothing.
You don't know that.
Well, I kind of do.
So this episode we've got, as we've told you a couple times already, it's John Rambo versus John Matrix.
And who's going to be fighting for who here? You want to tell the people?
Well, you know me. I like to back a winner, so I've got John Matrix.
Wow.
Yeah, coming in hot.
Wow.
Which leaves you with...
The one, the only, the world famous, your favorite, and my friend, Mr. John Rambo.
All right, better intro.
The
You won that
actual
battle.
winner. The
Well,
only winner.
That is not true.
Well, who has more movies under the belt?
Well, we're going to get to that debate later.
I'm just saying, if someone does a job and never gets called back,
It's because they perfected that job.
or
Yeah.
kind of did it like shittily, and it's like, oh,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, here's your $50.
Disagree. He probably made millions.
Wow.
Anyways, how about I kick it off with a little intro to my buddy John.
Right, yes. Yes. Tell us a bit about Mr. Matrix here.
Well, we don't call him Mr. Matrix. We call him Colonel John Matrix.
Whatever.
Special Forces warrior extraordinaire. Led missions all across the world. Overall badass. As he's the main character in the hit film Commando. Commando was a film that came out in 1985. And after it was made, interesting fact, they stopped making movies altogether as they had perfected the art form.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true. So that's
So
why
that
all
was it.
movies
That was
started
the
in 85.
last action movie
No, last movie.
ever.
Yeah. So, box office of $75 million. Like all masterpieces, maybe not fully appreciated in its own time, but still good enough for it to be the 25th highest grossing movie that year and the 7th highest grossing rated R movie. Yeah, which is crazy that there were that many rated R movies back in the 80s.
Because no one gave a fuck.
No, it's so good.
The 80s were for having fun.
Mm-hmm. Having fun, doing coke, and blowing up the economy.
And listening to rock bands that look like girls.
And Huey Lewis in the news.
Oh.
So, basic plot of the movie Commando. We've got Colonel John Matrix, retired Special Forces, whose daughter is kidnapped by a former dictator of a South American country.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. I think his name is like Arias. And the dictator wants Matrix to go to his country and assassinate the current leader so that the dictator can, take over again. Reason he picks Matrix is because he trusts him implicitly, and Matrix was actually the guy who led a team that led a coup to depose this dictator. So a little revenge, a little guy who knows how to get the job done. It's considered by some to be the quintessential Schwarzenegger 80s movies. There's just a little bit of a plot, insane action, and maybe the greatest one-liners ever. Like, when you think of Arnie as an action star, you think of, like, crazy action and just so good one-liners. The best, I would say the best in the biz.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, because that movie alone had like enough to last him a lifetime. Not to mention his other movies.
Yeah. You asked for some examples. Okay, fine, Dave. I'll give them to you. So when Matrix's daughter is kidnapped, he's got a gun on one of the kidnappers, and the kidnapper goes, "You've got to cooperate, right?" And Matrix just looks him dead in the eyes.
Was the kidnapper Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Matrix just looks him dead in the eyes and goes, "No," and just shoots him in the face. Pretty good, but that's just the start. He's on a plane with one of the bad guys heading to the South American country, and then he just snaps the neck of the guy in the plane. Cool already. Makes it even cooler when the stewardess comes by and Schwarzenegger says, "Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired." That was my worst Arnie ever.
It's such a good line, though.
Don't
I
disturb my
remember
friend.
as a kid
No.
just laughing my ass off. I'm like, that is so
It's
smart.
so good.
I'm like, yes, because he's dead, but he's also sleeping. I'm like, fuck Arnold. God damn,
So
that's
smart.
good.
Man, I really got to dial in the accent because it's not going well so far. All right. And then there's two more that I'll go over now. Then I got some more for later. So at the start of the movie, he meets this bad guy named Scully, and Matrix tells him, "You're a funny guy, Scully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last." And later,
Then what happened? Did he kill him last?
we'll see. So later, he's holding Sully. I already fucked up his name. It's Sully. He's holding him over a cliff, one-handed, and Matrix says, "Remember when I told you that I'd kill you last, Sully?" And the guy goes, "That's right, Matrix. You did." like a 1920s guy handing out like newsboy. And Matrix goes, "I lied," and just drops him off of the cliff.
And just to point out, too, this was very early in the movie. So he didn't even
so good.
make an attempt to kill him last.
I think he killed one person before Sully. And then he gets back into the car, and the woman who's helping him says, "What happened to Sully?" And he goes, "I let him go." And then final one. No, actually, that's it. I've got the other ones for later. Tie it up. They end up making some Commando action figures. He had like a whole crew. And there was a Russian remake in 2008, which I really want to see now.
What's it called?
I don't know. I assume it's Russian Commando.
Oh, fair.
Anyways, tell us about Rambo.
Oh, you know what? It would be my pleasure because
Great.
this movie as a whole, is just
Movies.
yes. But it was really something else. It was beyond their time, right? So Rambo as a whole, it's a 4-movie franchise based on the 1972 novel by David Morrell, First Blood, about John Rambo, which was a troubled Vietnam War veteran and former U.S. Special Forces soldier who is skilled in many aspects of survival, weaponry, hand-to-hand combat, and guerrilla warfare. Honestly, what can I say about John Rambo that hasn't already been said about the best action hero in the last 4 decades? Honestly. Name one action hero that's better than Rambo.
Okay.
I dare you.
Terminator. John Matrix.
Never.
John McClane.
Not even close.
Oh, are you kidding me?
God, no.
Oh,
John McClane?
Oh, man. He's an everyday man who just takes down terrorists.
No. If there's no air ducts, he can't do anything.
All right, because he used air ducts in all, 5 or 6 movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. Spoiler. Anyways, go ahead. You're wrong, but go.
But all joking aside, the movie was really interesting and very important for its time. And I'd even venture to say monumental. Because if you think about it, aside from the, gratuitous killing, knifing, explosions, random helicopter scenes, camouflage abuse, the mullets, which was amazing, and the great screenwriting, the underlying message of Rambo was pretty intense, right? In the 80s, PTSD just wasn't well understood at all, and no one was talking about it. And here's this movie about John Rambo, which is the story of the Special Forces soldier trying to return to America and having a hard time accommodating to the day-to-day life. He's an emotional mess and a disturbed individual that went through some brutal stuff, right? He saw all his friends died. He spent the majority of his days in a POW camp, and which he got tortured. And by the time he came home, he came to a place that didn't get him and that didn't accept him. So imagine doing that shit. It's like you're a decorated soldier coming back to America. You fought for their freedom, which is all America is, freedom. And then they don't want to fucking, they just don't accept you, and they're fucking with you left, right, and center.
Yeah, I do want to point out, like, there probably will be some jokes about him having PTSD or using it as a weakness.
Oh, no, fully.
But it is, like, such an incredibly important thing that people need to recognize it and treat it, and it's not a joke, except for this podcast.
Yes. Oh, and you saw Rambo deal with his PTSD as well, which was really interesting. He just went around hiding in a mountain and fucking killing everyone. An entire freaking city.
Which is not
up.
generally the way you do it.
No, you shouldn't get to that point.
Therapy, medication.
But you know what?
Yeah.
When you're a killing machine that's been trained to do that, and what happens when you poke the bear?
Yeah.
Fucking shit goes
and
down.
again, in the 80s, you're not going to get treated for it.
Fuck no.
You're going to be...
No one knows. You just went to Vietnam, you saw some shit, and you come back, and it's like, I don't know, work at a factory doing something, or yell at people downtown. I don't know.
And if you've got, issues, it's because you're weak.
Right.
No. Ridiculous.
You're not a man.
Anyways,
but all those things aside, we also need to mention how successful the whole franchise has been, right? So big screen alone, the budget for all 4 movies was a total of 152 mil. Do you want to know how much it grossed?
Yes, I do.
Goddamn, 720 mil. All 4 movies to date. That's box office alone.
Wait, let me do the math. That's a lot.
That's a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
That's like a tad more than I have in my bank account right now. By
that's why you know how to swim.
720 million.
It's a callback.
No. And aside from the movies, there was also novels, animated series. There was comic books. There's a TV series that's somehow still in the works since 2013. So I'm gonna throw it in there.
I'd imagine they definitely have Rambo branded bandanas.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Collectible card games, soundtrack, a Bollywood remake.
Wait.
So take that Russian remake of Commando.
Collectible card games?
Yes. Apparently that was the thing. And also video
There's
games.
a few characters.
Yeah. I guess enough.
Oh,
it's
who
like,
did you get in your pack?
I got another Russian warrior.
Oh, I'll trade you that for fat small town sheriff.
The video game was really impressive. They've been making Rambo video games since the very first consoles. It even went all the way up to PlayStation 3. I think it was the last video game.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, I think at some point we should watch the Bollywood remake of Rambo.
100%. Let's do that right after Russia.
Right after
Russian Commando and then Bollywood. All right.
But basically what I wanted to say with my intro was that this fight is going to be very easy because Rambo's going to win. This is like freaking, I don't know, just fishing with dynamite or fighting babies. You just can't lose.
So both things that you should never do. Yeah, and
unless you're hungry and all there is a lake and you have a stick of dynamite.
Why do you have dynamite?
I don't know. You got lost in the woods and that's all you have on you.
Yeah, that's.
Then you should definitely use it.
Yeah, I mean that's basic hiking gear is dynamite.
Anyways. I think the main issue is starting a fire and somehow lighting that dynamite close enough to the fire and throwing it.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to disagree with who wins because I think it's not even close. But, hey, we'll save that for the votes.
Yeah.
So, you want to tell me about Rambo's strengths?
Yeah, absolutely. He's, I think this will be no surprise to anyone, but he's skilled with many types of weapons, right? He's able to use any weapon he encounters in the field. He can even walk around shooting an M60 and not even mind the recoil or lose accuracy. We've seen that through every single one of his movies. And in case that doesn't sound impressive enough, the M60 is a behemoth of a freaking machine gun. It's a general purpose machine gun where you usually see attached to helicopters or in turrets, right?
Turrets.
Turrets. Yes, turrets. Thank you.
Tourette's is a...
Well, maybe the machine gun has turrets. We don't know. We don't know.
Fuck. Bullshit.
Balls. This thing is insane. It weighs at 23 pounds unloaded, right? And it takes a shit ton of bullets because this thing can fire around 550 rounds per minute.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Question, Dave.
Yes.
Most of the time, does he shoot that using two hands?
Most of the time, yes, but he's also shot it one-handed.
Okay, like one time.
Okay.
Does he shoot it mounted a lot of times?
Depends where he finds it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Okay, that'll bring up... that's a rebuttal I'll make later, but just want to get that on the record.
Right. And for the record, this is all throughout 4 movies, right? So he has a lot of experience with this gun. Just throwing it out there, you know.
Okay.
He's also the modern day Robin Hood on meth, right? He's a maverick with the freaking bow and arrow. Quiet when he needs it, and then he's got the explosive tips when he wants to turn the roof off, right? Has John Matrix ever taken down a helicopter with an explositive arrow?
No, he doesn't need to.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I didn't think
He'd wrestle it from the air with his bare hands.
Yeah, kind of lots of waste of energy, but whatever. Rambo's also master of stealth techniques, right? The man's like a fucking ninja. He becomes one with his surroundings, and he's able to craft his own camouflage too.
Like that's what he's known for, really, right? Yeah.
He doesn't need to go to the freaking store and buy crazy makeup, or he just fucking goes into the woods and does his own thing.
Except for when he always gives up and just takes off his shirt.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to show the scars and the abs.
So it's just like his camouflage face and then pasty white skin. I guess he's pretty oiled up, but still.
Some will call it sweaty. He's also extremely crafty with a knife, not only for killing, but also for survival, right? He can craft spears. He's used the knife as a torch. And yes, he also kills people with it too, which is amazing. He's a master at guerrilla warfare, as I had mentioned earlier. He uses the environment to his advantage, which enables him to turn anything into a weapon or a decoy.
Yeah, he's sick of traps.
Yeah, amazing. Another thing that he's got going for him is his strength and stamina, right? Like RoboCop would need to recharge before John Rambo had to stop to take a breath. That's how good his stamina is.
You're really going with his physical strength. Okay.
Well. I mean, I'm just saying, the guy doesn't get tired. He's very adept at hand-to-hand combat and an incredible resistance to pain, as we've seen from his time in the POW camps.
Oh, so he does get hurt. Interesting.
Yeah, he just doesn't feel
quite
pain,
a bit.
Though.
All right.
And while we're on the topic of hand-to-hand combat,
yeah.
I mean, some people get hurt. Did you know Rambo once ripped a guy's throat using his bare hands?
Did I?
Yeah.
I fucking love throat rips.
It was fucking
That's the
awesome.
best. The best part in any movie. It's so there aren't enough of those. There aren't them anymore, really.
No. Where you see the blood squirting everywhere, and it's fucking great.
No, you would like Rambo, Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, and
those were the days.
Oh, and the movie MacGruber.
Oh,
which is
right.
great. He does it 3 times.
Yes.
He gets a turkey. It's pretty, such a good movie. Anyways,
there's also another one here that Rambo definitely has over John Matrix, and it's that Rambo's a pretty smart dude, really, really smart. He's able to speak several languages.
Yeah.
From the ones we know of: English, Burmese, Thai. He probably knows a couple others.
Yeah.
He knows how to pilot helicopters and other machines like bikes, boats, tanks. Horses. Well, not a machine.
Horses,
he knows how to freaking ride them.
Mm-hmm.
He's adept.
Flies a helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also very adept at combat medicine, which is very important. So if he gets hurt, he can heal himself.
Wait, are you calling When he burns himself to cauterize a wound, is that combat medicine?
Yeah, that's combat medicine. Yes, sometimes you don't have all the required utensils you need to cure yourself, and you just gotta fucking do with what you have.
Again, I'm gonna point out that him being good at it means he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's all right. You gotta fail sometimes to succeed.
Disagree.
Yeah, he's also amazing at orientation. Right? He's like an outdoor cat. He just knows his way wherever the fuck he is. He always comes back home. John Rambo. And also, I just want to point out too that like this guy's not only good in one terrain. We've seen him fight in many different places. We've seen him fight in the Middle East. We've seen him fight in Asia. We've seen him fight in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not a one-trick pony.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that all you got?
Yeah, that's not
that's
all.
Sure.
It's
okay,
just
cool.
not just all.
Okay.
Pretty fucking good.
John Matrix.
Yeah,
Strengths.
Let's hear it.
Literally, strength is one of his strengths. It's prime Arnie. Dude is 6'2", 240. He got muscles on muscles on muscles.
His muscles have muscles.
Yeah. Like, for example, literally the first time we see Matrix, he's carrying a tree one-handed. No problem.
That was a great opening scene.
Like, he's just glistening with a tank top on, rocking a full tree over his shoulder. And you know that's, like, he's comfortable. That's not the only time he's carried a tree. That guy is, like, part of the rainforest is, like, overdevelopment. The other part is Matrix needs to work out.
He just wants to let the viewers know. He's like, you know how strong a bulldozer is? It's like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, he wasn't carrying an axe with him, so even money, he just ripped a tree out of the ground and put it on his shoulder. What else? He's strong. We see him a number of times. He pushes a Ford Bronco to get it started, flips over a Porsche, rips a seat out of a car quite easily. At the end of the movie, he's carrying at least like 100 pounds of equipment, and he's just running around and like no problem, just still murdering fools. And then, another one, he literally picks up a phone booth and throws it at a man as a weapon. Who does that?
Jesus.
It's so strong. Those things are bolted in, and he just, no big deal.
He's the least stealthiest man on the planet. It's just, even if he was really good at stealth, he still couldn't hide. He's massive. He's so big.
See,
the guy's like 3 walls put together.
I disagree. Because he is described by his superior, the general, as silent and smooth.
Wasn't the part where he had to rip the telephone booth, wasn't because he got caught at the mall?
Oh, right, because Rambo isn't caught in every single movie.
Well,
Yeah,
but he doesn't rip telephone booths and throw them
because he
at people.
can't.
Because he doesn't throw temper tantrums.
Agree to disagree. Okay, so he's described as silent and smooth. Like, this guy who trained him, the general, Matrix just sneaks up on him and steals his gun from him. No big deal. He's that good. He's better than the best.
He's very playful.
Yeah. He has heightened senses. You might not think that, but he does. At the start of the movie, he literally smells bad guys coming from upwind. Like a fucking wolf.
Like a deer. Deers also do that.
Yeah, okay. Deers will mess you up.
No, they won't. They just
Are
run
you
away
kidding
from
me?
you.
Angry deer will mess you up all day long.
Dude, what happened to you?
No, look at like YouTube. There's videos. It's crazy. You don't mess around with deers. He's indestructible. He gets injured maybe 2 times in the movie, and it's entirely superficial.
But it's just one movie, and he gets injured twice.
Okay, Rambo almost dies in every movie. There's no chance. There's no point where you're like, oh my god, I'm worried Matrix will die. No, you're like, I'm worried Matrix will murder this guy's family, and just like in the most horrific ways possible.
Rambo's just a hero.
Matrix is a hero too. He's a decorated combat veteran. Okay. What else? So like, yeah, he gets himself in trouble. Like, he rams his car into a light pole, but he just walks away. He gets hit by a car and brushes it off. The car probably more injured than him. And then he falls out of a plane about 200 feet, lands in a marsh, and then just immediately gets up and continues his tour de revenge.
He's barely wet, too.
Oh, man, it's ridiculous.
When he lands in the marsh.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's like he's been scotch guarded. Nothing. Just wipe it off.
Also, I have an issue with the movie because there's no way in hell Arnie could fit through that tiny door to get to the landing gear.
Apparently he did. So add to it, he's malleable like Plastic Man.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's like T1. No. Oh my God. How am I blanking on T2000?
T3000.
T3000. Man,
You're
that's
like
embarrassing.
1,000 off.
Yeah. Okay. He's great with vehicles. He hotwired a bulldozer. And he tough-talked a plane into working.
Also, I just want to, when you say he's good with vehicles, he managed to total every single machine he touched in that movie.
Yeah, he just passive destruction wherever he is. Okay, well, Rambo in First Blood just flipped something going up a mountain.
A helicopter.
No, he flipped like his off-road vehicle.
He was going up a mountain.
Okay, well,
Arnold was literally just driving in a straight line, and he
there's
ruined the
curves on
Porsche.
a road. Okay, so anyways, he tough-talked the plane into working. So what happened was this plane, its engine wasn't going, and so he looks at the dashboard and goes, "Fly or die," and the plane just starts, and he goes, "Works every time." I don't know what accent I'm doing. Okay. Weirdly agile for a guy his size. He, when he's in the mall, he swings like Tarzan style using a banner.
Yes, yes.
Which is impressive that banner is able to hold up. Master of weapons. Let's see, what does he use? He uses pistols, rifles, machine guns, quad rocket launchers. You heard me right. A quad rocket launcher. Hey, Dave, how many rockets does a normal rocket launcher hold?
Usually one. It's all you need. But
Yeah.
if you miss a
Four
lot,
times the destruction.
yeah, I mean, that's just, if you're not accurate, yes, you would need the 4 rocket launcher.
No, if you're a fucking badass and actually carry it, it probably weighs as much as Rambo.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, he's good at grenades, mines. He's got an amazing shooting knife. Like you click it and the blade fires out. It's awesome.
That is pretty good.
And a shotgun. Oh, he also throws 2 knives at once, accurately murdering people.
Well, I mean, magicians at a circus do that sometimes.
Yeah, notice how Rambo didn't do it. He's an explosives expert. In the final battle, he uses 2 mines to blow up 3 buildings. Like massive villas.
Pretty impressive. He's, I guess he's also very adept at engineering and how load-bearing walls work.
Exactly.
Because he fucking hit them perfectly.
Yeah, he's a PNG.
Yeah. Did you not see his pinky finger?
Yeah, so he's also so amazing that he doesn't need to use 2 hands while shooting. And he just shoots from the hip. Like, he accurately shoots an Uzi and an assault rifle one-handed. And then...
That's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, and then...
shooting an Uzi from your hip and still hitting everyone.
He also does that with a machine gun. The M60E. One step above the M60. And you know what?
How is it one step above?
Because it's got an extra letter. And you know what's interesting? He never puts 2 hands on it. Rambo's all about that 2 hands, except for one instance, and Commandos, John Matrix is like, all right, like, I barely need this other hand. It's just for show.
I just want to say, if Commando had 3 more movies, he may have, in some other ones, used the M60 with 2 hands or attached to something else.
No.
We don't know. We don't
When
know
you
because
start
all we have...
with one hand, the only way to go is no hands next. He's just fucking firing it with his toes.
with his dick.
He does it. Okay. And then, like, he's also great with improvised weapons. So he kills a guy with a pitchfork, circular saw blades. Like, he just goes into a tool shed, grabs it, and then takes off the top of a guy's head with the saw blade. It's amazing.
Okay, but a pitchfork is not an improvised weapon.
Yeah.
That's like a stick with 4 ice picks. That's
Okay.
like...
He's good at using unusual items as weapons. Okay. He rocks a Speedo like a motherfucker.
That he does. That he does. And he enjoys it too.
Like, I don't get it. He's doing it just to paddle a boat. Why wouldn't he wear his normal clothes? No, he's got to get down to Speedo. And
It's a spit thing.
yeah. Yeah, and then
He wants to be more aerodynamic.
so powerful, like he's creating wake off of that boat. Okay, good at manipulating. The bad guy, the main like tough guy, is a guy named Bennett who was on Matrix's team, and he got kicked off for excessive violence. And he managed to get Bennett to have a knife fight while Bennett had a gun aimed at Matrix.
Also, how did that fight last as long as it did? Because Bennett looked pretty out of shape. Like, he had a beer belly.
Yeah, I mean, so did every single one of Rambo's main characters, or main bad guys.
Well, no, but Rambo's bad guys are like armies.
At least this guy was kicked off an elite special forces team that had Matrix as the leader. Matrix, a guy who's fine with blowing up everything around, and he was kicked off of that team for excessive violence? That's crazy. Anyways, you might wonder, oh, did he beat Bennett? Yeah, he beat Bennett. How did he beat him? He kills him by taking a pipe, like a steam pipe, and throwing it through his chest like a fucking fastball. It's amazing.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Strong enough to throw a pipe and strong enough to throw it through a man's body. Oh, question. Dave?
Yes.
Do you think he had an amazing one-liner for that?
I am going to venture and say yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
You wanna tell us? Enlighten us.
So he throws it and he goes, "Let off some steam, Bennett."
Oh.
So he's pretty amazing.
Arnie's the best.
All right, that's my strengths for him. Pretty legit. Next, I think I'm going to tackle Rambo's weaknesses. This may take 40 minutes, folks.
Wow.
Sid.
Wow. I
just
see what
buckle
you're trying
up.
to do there.
All right, so he's tiny. He's 5'10", quite a bit smaller than Arnie.
Which means he has a lower center of gravity.
Okay, good point. Not nearly as jacked.
But he's pretty jacked, though.
Okay, but he's not Arnie jacked.
I'm just saying, like, you don't...
There's a scene in the movie Twins, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
Where
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Arnie comes to the States and sees a poster of Stallone and Rambo, I think First Blood 2.
I forgot about that.
And he just looks at it, flexes his own muscles, and just dismissively waves Stallone away. It's like,
oh, Arnie.
Non-military Arnie knows that Rambo's a pussy.
Yes.
Okay. Serious case of PTSD. That's a huge weakness.
He's
if
a
you're
deeply troubled man, yes.
Yeah. He was tortured. He's got scars everywhere. And he gets like these flashbacks constantly. In First Blood, he once got a flashback from a guy just trying to shave him. So anything can set him off. It's, a terrible thing. Definitely a weakness, though.
Yeah.
He always, he's known for his stealth, right?
Yes.
Then why does he always manage to just blow it? He's good for a bit, and then,
Well, because he likes to surprise people. He's like, oh, you didn't even know I was here. He's like, I just want to show myself.
Now,
this was too easy.
Now, please take me captive.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Hey, do you like dogs, Dave?
I do like dogs.
Well, then you shouldn't like Rambo because he killed 2 of them in First Blood.
To his defense, the dogs were going to bite him.
No, you just need to pet dogs. They're sweet doggies.
Well,
you don't kill them.
Well, those doggies had rabies, so
you
they kind of
don't want
to
to kill them.
Euthanized.
That's a bad man.
Some doggies are bad doggies, and you have to kill those bad doggies.
Whoa.
You know what? I trust in Rambo's decision-making process.
Nope, disagree. You don't kill doggies. He almost gets killed by part-time National Guardsmen. Like weekend
park
warriors.
rangers.
Yeah, like, fuck, what are you doing, man? Needs 2 hands to shoot a machine gun.
Wow.
He has
sometimes
the worst credit songs in history.
Yes, he does.
First Blood, he's got It's a Long Road, some sample lyrics. Each step is only the beginning. No breaks, just heartaches. The credits song for Commando, just Arnie fucking your mom. Rambo 3 used like a synth heavy cover of He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, so a little bit weak.
It was the 80s. People were confused. He should have just gone with Bon Jovi.
He cares about people, especially Troutman, his colonel boss.
He does have a boner for Troutman.
Yeah. He also wasn't even a colonel himself, Rambo. I don't even know what his...
he was just Special Forces.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll look it up. But... So
he was a
not
special
colonel.
asset.
Yeah, okay, so was Arnie, but he was a colonel. You okay there with your cough, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
I'm just coming off from a flu.
All right. In the first movie, he doesn't want to kill anyone. Issues with remorse.
He hates himself.
Yeah, he hates himself and what he's become. Also, not the best judge of character. He teams up with the Cobra Kai leader from Karate Kid.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
You can't argue that away.
But people change. I'm guessing this movie took place way after the last Karate Kid 3.
I don't know about that, but either way, who cares? It's still buddies. Yeah, apparently they don't show his actual like rank that much. Anyways, who cares about that?
I managed to find all his medals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was highly decorated. It was like freaking 3 pages.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
He also teams up with Kurtwood Smith in Rambo 3. Do you want to...
Red Foreman.
Yeah, Red Foreman. Also, Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop.
That's right.
Same man who said, "Bitches leave." So I seriously judge him on his inability to judge character. He's named after Rambo apples, which is just pathetic.
Yeah. Do you know the story with that?
No, I don't.
So when the writer was choosing a name of John Rambo, he he took it from Rambo apples because to him, he thought that the name instilled a lot of force. So Rambo. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna name after Rambo apples.
Super pathetic.
Yeah.
He's sleepy. He's got sleepy eyes. He looks always tired.
That's just Stallone, though.
Yeah,
He's
looks
got
like he's
something
always
going on with the upper half of his face.
I mean, I'm not even going to mention his weird speaking. Okay, you will. And you'll do it with a lot of class. Adrian! He almost dies parachuting.
Yeah, but he didn't. I mean,
almost dies. Matrix doesn't almost die, and he doesn't need a parachute. He just jumps from planes.
Jesus,
and the only like one-liner Rambo had was when he was late. He goes, "I got hung up."
He had some good quotes in there.
Yeah, they're all about him almost dying.
Yeah.
The big bad in Rocky 3 is a balding middle-aged Russian, and First Blood 2. I keep on wanting to say Rocky. Rambo surrenders. I don't even know how to say that.
He wanted to see the compound from the inside so that he could then get rescued and go back and know.
Sorry, he needed to get rescued? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay to need help once in a while. I mean, Matrix had to use that girl through the entire movie.
Yeah, he needed a pilot.
Well, I'm just saying he needed help.
I mean, Rambo needed a lot of help from a lot of people.
Yeah, but Rambo was also in hairier situations than Matrix.
Are you kidding? Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
That's ridiculous.
Just throwing it out there.
Okay. And that's really it. So, in summary, Rambo, barely a soldier.
Special forces soldier, and way more of an active battlefield person than John Matrix,
That's not true at all.
who lives in the freaking woods with his daughter.
He's retired.
Rambo never retires. Okay? Rambo
Yeah,
fights.
he does.
No, he's still doing shit here and there.
Yeah, so did Matrix. He got pulled out of retirement for this last
Yeah,
gig.
he was chopping wood and
Yeah.
singing songs.
Sorry, Rambo. What was Rambo doing? Rambo was hitchhiking across the country to find friends,
Yes.
which he never found.
no, they were all dead.
And then he was like handling snakes.
Which is a pretty badass job.
Yeah,
and
fair.
also fighting at the same time.
That was a different movie.
Rambo 2 and 3? Or no, Rambo 3, yes.
Yeah, I think it was Rambo 3.
Yeah,
was
Rambo
fighting.
3.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to John Matrix weaknesses.
Get
which
ready for
there's-
1 second of no talking, folks, because
Jesus,
that's all there is.
I got a lot, actually.
All right, let's hear it.
So first of all, I got some beef with the whole part of him being a colonel.
Sorry, what?
Colonel?
Colonel.
The fuck's the R in there? Anyways, is he actually a full bird colonel or what the hell? I think he's just a lieutenant.
He's a colonel.
Yeah, but like not a full colonel.
They would call him lieutenant colonel if he wasn't a full colonel.
No, they would still call him. They don't make that distinction.
Says who?
But I'm just saying he's a little young to be a full.
He's that good.
I don't think he's that good.
Yeah.
He can't do stealth for shit. Every time he tries to sneak up on someone, he blows it and has to go full demolition man.
Which is awesome, and he also can do stealth. He snuck up on his general.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, he just did a peekaboo
Yeah.
moment, and then the rest is just him causing debacle all over town. He's missing a few brain cells too, which makes up for his sheer strength.
Yeah.
Like he's a gorilla, that man.
Did you
Also,
for the smart stuff? Did you notice that for his gun locker, the passcode was only 2 digits?
anymore, and it would have been way too confusing. Oh, that's great. Never change, John. Never change. Also, he's got sleeves allergies.
Yeah.
Where are his sleeves?
Doesn't they make him feel a little bit icky, so he just goes sleeveless throughout the movie. He'll put on a vest with no sleeves.
It's just so bad. It's also, I don't understand how he's so fast. How they portrayed him to be so fast. The man is a freaking wall. He's clumsy.
He is never clumsy. He's an
He
elite
should be.
athlete. He should be, but he isn't. He's a real specimen.
So fucking opens the movie carrying a tree. He's probably you know who he is? He's the type of guy that talks about CrossFit his whole day. He's just lifting trees, running in seconds, doing squats, throwing tires.
Wait, I seem to remember someone from this podcast talking about CrossFit.
Who?
You.
Ha! I've never. Did I? Yeah. God damn it. Stupid John Matrix. He can't drive worth shit.
That's fair.
He crashed and demolished everything he got into. He's good at starting cars and planes and whatnot, so he just crashes them. I think the only thing that didn't break in that whole movie was the inflatable boat that he was rowing. Other than that, he trashed everything else.
Yeah, he crushed it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if off camera he just stuck a knife in it and deflated it.
Just showed who's boss.
Also, he managed to get himself captured, all while running in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, he gave himself up, but it's because his daughter.
Well, still though, that's
Rambo just got captured because he couldn't hack it in small town America.
he's also closer to King Kong than he is of a freaking special forces soldier. Like, what kind of special forces training is throwing a phone booth around? Honestly, that's insane. What
It's
was he
using your
expected to do?
environment, man.
Yeah, Did he hit the guy with the phone booth? No.
Still
Far
scared
from.
the shit out of him. Honestly, how quickly would you give up if you're in a fight and the guy picks up a phone booth?
Oh, no, I would fucking run. I would run far and fast. Well, it's a waste of energy. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
We've never seen him fight anywhere other than the U.S., right? Like, we don't know how he's in foreign territory.
So that's actually, we don't see him, but it's false. Because he threw over that guy's dictatorship in a foreign country.
Well, this is just stories.
Yeah,
We don't know
stories
if it
that
was
are the
actually
fuel
him.
for the entire plot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we've never seen him do it.
But he's done it.
Rambo, on the other
It's on
hand,
record.
well, he's just seems really used to the cushy life of living up in the mountains with fresh air, with your daughter, who's his main weakness. He has a daughter.
Yeah.
That is easily kidnappable and easily killed.
Yeah. So his weakness is he has people that he loves and loves him.
Yeah.
So
Also, for a special forces guy, he has zero concern for tactical wear. His tactical wear is a Speedo. Like, that's it. And maybe
so
a black marker so that he can put lines on his face.
it's so ridiculous. He just does. That's my favorite thing about his camo is he just puts lines on his face and his body, like dark lines, and then goes into a bright villa in the middle of daylight. So just
he put marker on his arms too, and he was like accentuating the shadows and highlights of his muscles. It's like, oh Lord,
So
here we
good.
go. Be a man like Rambo and wear camo. Look at those Speedos.
if you look that good, you got to show it off.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they look pretty good. Probably
Uh,
made him run faster.
All right, that's all you got.
That's all I got. Yeah, that's all I
Not
need.
much.
That's
Not
all I need.
much.
Do you want to talk about Johnny M's strength of schedule here?
Yeah, sure thing. I like you're using that phrase like you know what it means now.
Yeah, I do because I have it written with something in brackets right beside it that says who they have fought. I'm like, yeah, now I know what that means.
Okay. So mainly it's the army of a deposed dictator, guys who will live and die for their leader.
Who are probably not trained properly.
It's an
mean-
army.
I mean,
It's an army.
from a third world country.
You're from a third world country.
That's right, and I can't fight worth shit.
Wait, every bad guy you're gonna mention is a third world country for Rambo, except for the Russians.
What about the American park rangers?
Oh God. And then a team of elite mercenaries, the guys that he trained who were special forces. So
Okay.
pretty good. Overall, kills 81 people.
Wow.
Yeah, legit. The one movie, kill 81 people. That's all you need.
That's cute, I guess. That's pretty okay.
All right.
Do you want
Let's
to hear
yours.
about Rambo?
Not really, but let's do it.
All right. So he had the U.S. police force, including the park rangers.
Okay.
For one city.
Okay, but
municipality.
those cops were in the middle of nowhere. Did not look like they had ever dealt with anything besides like someone stealing a pie from a windowsill, and they probably ate the pie.
He
and then
still fought a lot of them. Some of them in helicopters.
one guy in a helicopter.
Okay, that's still one guy.
Yeah, and then the park rangers, as you call them, were part-time National Guardsmen. It'd be like you and me playing War on the Weekend.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay.
There's more though.
All right, let's hear it.
That's just my intro. He fought the Vietnamese army. He
Third World
fought.
Army.
Sorry.
Third World Army.
Yeah, it's still an army, a national army. He fought a Russian army. Right. He fought the Burmese army.
Okay.
He fought Burmese pirates.
Okay.
He fought TIE fighters.
Oh my
Just
God!
one.
Like from Star Wars?
Yes.
It's so crazy.
He's an awesome dude. He's fought helicopters.
Okay.
Dudes on horses.
So you can't fight helicopters.
If you're Rambo, you can, and he has.
Okay, the only reason he took down a helicopter was because the stupid Russian guy decided to fly 10 feet above the ground.
Multiple helicopters. He took one helicopter with a rock. He took down one helicopter with an explosive arrow, and he took out one helicopter with a tank.
He didn't take out a helicopter with a rock. He took out the guy in the helicopter with a rock.
Yeah, which caused the helicopter to crash.
Did it? I didn't think he did. I think he just fell out.
No, the helicopter crashed.
Really?
Well, yeah, because who's driving it then?
No, there was a pilot, and the guy was hanging out the door shooting at Rambo. Huh? Did you watch?
I don't remember. I thought I thought when he threw the rock at the helicopter would have crashed. Why don't you Googleize that
I'll go
while
into
I give you the kill count? So in First Blood is 1. The first guy who kills. Which, now that I'm saying that, makes me think that, that helicopter didn't go down, because then the kill count would have been a lot higher.
Well, it would have been 1 higher.
Yes. Okay, so never mind. I got that wrong. First Blood 2, 51 people.
Okay, so...
Rambo 3, 72 people.
So still not as many as Matrix in one
for
movie.
It, Rambo 4, 87 people.
Okay.
More than John Matrix.
What you're telling me is it took him 4 movies to barely pass the lofty heights.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying cumulatively, this motherfucker has killed shit ton more people than John Matrix.
Okay. If you looked at it, for John Matrix debuted with 81. Fourth movie, no more people on the planet Earth.
But John Rambo knew. He's like, you know what? I'm doing such a good job that we're going to have more movies. John Matrix is like, they're not going to call me back. I might as well just burn the world.
Because he perfected the art of killing.
I don't think he perfected anything.
Oh, man. Okay, so just watch the clip of the helicopter rock fight. Only one person fell out of it, and he didn't even hit him. He threw it. It hit the window of the helicopter. The pilot jostled a little bit, and the guy fell out. That's barely a kill.
I'm just saying. That's pretty badass.
Involuntary manslaughter at best. Minus 40 kills.
Okay, so 1 kill and 1 manslaughter.
No.
Involuntary manslaughter.
No. The kill is an involuntary manslaughter.
Okay, whatever.
Only 1 person dies in that movie.
He didn't want to kill anyone.
That's his weakness.
No, he got over that by Rambo 4. I mean,
mowing down
he killed 87. And not to mention, there will be a Rambo 5 by the end of this year, in which Rambo is fighting Mexican cartels.
That makes no sense to me.
He doesn't have to. He's Rambo. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Cool. That's your strength schedule. You want to give it a little sweet summary?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I'll do my closing statements.
All right.
John Rambo, I want you guys to realize when you're listening there, he's the type of special forces soldier you'd bring home to meet mom. He's sweet, smart, speaks different languages, loves camping and the outdoors, and has traveled the world. And did I mention John is a decorated war hero? You know, with quotes like, "To survive war, you gotta become war."
Sorry, that's not how he would say it.
That's how I would say it.
You gotta become war.
To survive war, you gotta become war. My face actually moves, so I can't do his voice. There's the one where the one Troutman had in the first movie, where he tells the chief of police, "You don't seem to want to accept the fact you're dealing with an expert in guerrilla warfare, with a man who's the best, with guns, with knives, with his bare hands, a man who's been trained to ignore pain, ignore weather, to live off the land, to eat things that would make a billy goat puke. In Vietnam, his job was to dispose of enemy personnel, to kill, period. Win by attrition. Well, Rambo was the best." Like, that's fucking badass.
But you forgot the rest of the scene where the police chief goes, "You ever heard of John Matrix?" And Trevor's like, "Oh, shit.
Oh.
Take everything back." Except the Billy Goat puke part.
There's also a funny one too in Rambo 3 where the helicopter drops the fuel bomb and it almost burned them. And then Troutman goes, "That was close, John. How are ya?" And Rambo goes, "Well done." And that was his attempt at humor. And it didn't stick. That's why Stallone doesn't have any good fucking lines.
No.
And Arnie just took over all of them.
So good.
But I don't think I need to make my case any clearer, right? This man is a human fighting machine. One of, if not, the best human asset that the Special Forces have ever created. He's a specialist. He's got heart. And he wins at all cost, right? I said it before. He's going to have a 5th movie. How many did John Matrix have? 1. Barely 1. You get to see Rambo now fighting the Mexican cartels. He's current. This man is just amazing.
In the Commando universe, everyone heard what he did to Alias or whatever his name is, and they just shut down all crime.
I just want to make it known, or I just want to pose the question. Where is Matrix right now? He's probably out in the woods drinking Bud Light with a teenage daughter that hates him.
With that body, he would not drink Bud Light.
I'm pretty sure he's drinking Bud Light now.
Oh, God. Okay. Summary for John Matrix. It's going to be short and sweet. He is the prototypical action hero. Kills people with ease while tossing out killer one-liners. He's a family guy as well, which is great. So he's got both sides working for him. He's not a shell of a man. And it's peak Arnie. That's all you need to know. Oh, and if Commando did get a sequel, guaranteed it wouldn't be something lame like First Blood Part 2. It makes no sense.
I fucking hate that
It's
name.
so stupid. Everyone just calls it Rambo 2 because that's the name it should have.
That's the name of the first movie, First Blood. How about the second one? Well, I was thinking, guys, First Blood 2. Oh, fuck, I guess so. I mean, if we don't have anything better, anybody else? No?
No.
Okay, well, I guess
Give
we're
up.
going with First Blood 2. Great job.
All right. So that's my brief summary. Should I go ahead with how I imagine the final battle going?
Go for it.
All right. So final battle. This is how I see it going down. So
Hear it.
it starts at the end of the movie John Rambo. When Rambo's back in the U.S., he's ready to try it.
He gave up Thailand. He's like,
Yeah. I'd rather not do that. I'm going to go back home. He thinks he's all safe. He's living with his family on the farm. Finally getting treatment for PTSD. Thank goodness. And he decides, I need to make some money. So he goes to apply at a job at Home Depot.
oh.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty crafty.
Yeah, he's good with it. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I think he could be helpful, and it helps, like, get him to see more people, get used to being in civilization.
Yeah.
So he's going to apply, and he gets there, and he's kind of a dick, and he snakes in front of someone else trying to grab a parking spot. Dick move.
Wow.
Yeah. So bad idea, because he just stole John Matrix's parking spot.
Goddamn.
So Rambo goes in, just doing his own thing, doesn't realize what kind of trouble he's in.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah, he does not have the super senses that Matrix does. Matrix, like, well, this is one step below stealing my daughter, so I got to handle this. And he goes into his back, and he's just got an arsenal. He's got, like, quad rocket launcher, machine gun, everything you need. So he picks it up all with him, about 400 pounds worth of equipment, but you couldn't tell by looking at him. It'd be like
He's
you
a
wearing a
mule.
backpack, yeah. And he goes into Home Depot, and he starts looking for him. But Rambo's pretty well hidden because he's a master of camouflage, even if he doesn't mean to. And, he's Rambo realizes he's in trouble when he sees this guy. So he starts taking pot shots at him, like throwing knives at Matrix. but knives bounce off Matrix like fucking spitballs.
You'd say he's pretty thick-skinned? Oh.
Yes. Yes, I would. So he's getting annoyed, so Arnie just starts throwing down ammo, just like, bruh, bruh, bruh. He's got his...
Right. He brought in all those guns in the back of his pickup truck.
Those are missiles. And then, Rambo grabs one of the guns that Matrix just throws away because he doesn't need it. It's an M60. He takes 2 hands, and then he has a nice old lady help him because he can't handle it. And he starts shooting it, and it's a Tourette's one. So it says, bruh, fuck you. Bruh, 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 shit,
I like the Tourette's gun.
bruh, 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 bruh. But it doesn't matter because he gets Arnie with one shot. Matrix has a little scratch in his arm, just a superficial. It doesn't hurt him in any way. And they both run out of bullets, so they decide to do this hand to hand. And they're doing a knife fight. They're both really good at knives, so it balances out. And then Rambo accidentally walks in to the nursery area, and he sees plants he hasn't seen since he was in Thailand. And it fucks him up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he breaks down. He's barely able to figure out where he's at.
Fuck, he was doing so good in therapy, too.
Yeah, and do you know what's right near the nursery section?
What?
Gardening tools.
Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a pitchfork or a...
Oh, he's like, that's too easy, a pitchfork. Circular blades, been there, done that. What does he get? He gets a hoe.
Because that's where you would find circular blades in the gardening section.
Yeah,
it's
a weird Home Depot. And so he grabs a hoe.
Hoe?
How now?
How?
That's terrible. And he takes the actual wood part off the hoe because you don't need it. And he throws it at Rambo and literally cuts him in half. Then it circles around because it's kind of like a boomerang. And it cuts him in half again until all that's left is little pieces of Rambo. And it works for Rambo because he's finally at peace.
Fair.
And then Matrix just goes to the tree section and just grabs 3 trees on his shoulders, and that's his day. He's fine. And that's how I see it going down.
Okay. That's, pretty weak if you ask me.
Realistic, yeah.
But, whatever. Whatever you want to do with your life, I guess. If that's the road you want to take. I see it going down a little differently. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh, sure. Let's hear it.
I see it as John Matrix. It comes out that for the longest time, he had been working for several other nations, mainly the Vietnamese, hosting POW camps.
That is not true.
And I'm just saying, this is brand new information. And now...
no one's heard of him since 85, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Now Rambo found this out, and he's like, oh, he killed all my friends. I am fucking angry now. I'm pissed.
How would he say that?
I'm pissed. Like a hint of Ozzy Osbourne in there. So now Rambo has it out for John Matrix. Where does John Matrix live? Out in the woods. You know where Rambo's really fucking good? Out in the woods. So he goes, he sneaks in there. Mm-hmm. He becomes part of those woods. He stalks his prey. He waits to see what John does every day in and day out. John can't smell him.
John would smell him
John cannot
immediately.
Smell him. He's a master. He booby traps the whole thing. He waits for the daughter to go pick up strawberries. Boom. Trap comes in. Alyssa Milano, dead.
Oh,
she never grew
national
up.
treasure.
Yeah. Done. Freaking treetop came crashing down on her.
Oh,
she's done.
You know that tree lifting strength runs in the Matrix family.
She can. She's too little. She's a little girl. She couldn't do it. She's dead. Done. Now, they're at the same level. Rambo with their PTSD and John Matrix suffering for the loss of his little girl because he lets John Matrix see that. Fucks with his psyche.
Oh,
Oh
no.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Even
Matrix is
Plainfield.
running around like a freaking gorilla, like a freaking moose, just breaking down trees across his little forest. Doesn't know what's happening.
Oh man, he's like a gorilla. Good thing Rambo's great at guerrilla warfare.
Yes, thank you. Good one.
Wordplay.
Oh. Rambo's he's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve. John Matrix starts falling into little traps.
He's wearing
here and
sleeves.
there.
Interesting.
Yes, Rambo needs the sleeves. There's a notice how there's no guns being mentioned here.
Mm-hmm.
He's just playing with Matrix's head. Matrix falls on a couple of traps. He's hurt here and there. He's got a couple scratches. Rambo's still just holding back, waiting for his turn. Then he finally sees him. They start fighting. They go hand in hand. Matrix is winning. Naturally, he's pretty fucking strong.
Yep.
Rambo is known to do some pretty stupid decisions from time to time. And, well, I mean, he goes down. He gets to the point where he's now letting Matrix think that he's going to kill him. Matrix is doing his stupid speech. He's doing one-liners. He's throwing in fancy words while Rambo's just on the floor going,
Sorry. One thing Matrix is known for is his fancy words.
Yeah, the fancy words. You thought you were going to come and kill my family. And Stallone's just on the floor. He's like,
He's under a tree, and
he's under a tree, yeah.
Rambo's like, or Matrix is like, it's about time you leave.
See you on the other side. He's already on the other side of the tree, which is great. Stallone doesn't know what to do. Rambo's just...
It's about time you branch out into other things.
He's just sitting there. He's bleeding.
Your bark is worse than your bite. I'm done.
And Matrix is getting all this confidence because he's about to kill Rambo. But you know what happens? That was all part of the plan.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. The valiant fighters, freedom fighters of Afghanistan, he had them on hold, and they come running in.
Oh,
What the
shit.
fuck's John Matrix going to do now? There's all these people yelling, Halama! Halama!
Okay, this turned into
Just
something
running
weird.
around. They're throwing dead sheep. They fucking tie him down. They put a black bag on his head. They film it and decapitate John Matrix. And then they show to everybody else in his squad.
Okay.
And that's how Rambo wins this fight.
So let me get this straight.
Rambo's friends with the Taliban, yes.
Okay. It needs to be pointed out that he's not actually friends with the Taliban.
But I'm just saying some of the people from
They may have gone Taliban.
They may have
Yeah.
started their own band because they just...
So your way to win is for Rambo to get in trouble and have people save him.
Yeah, of course. That's how every movie ends. That's how Rambo wins everything.
I get by with a little help from my friends. It's
Yeah.
a Beatles song.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's an interesting take you had. Notice how I didn't say a good take, but it's an interesting take. I think we leave it at that and leave it up to the people to decide.
Yeah. And again, thank you for giving me the win, people
Nope.
listening right now. And I knew Rambo was going to win, with or without his friends, but with his friends mainly.
Matrix does it barehanded. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hey, no weapons.
All right. That's it.
That's it. One more show done. One more show that I win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Another win for Rambo.
0% chance. Anyways,
We'll leave
that's
it
it.
at that.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we've reached the end of today's battle, Rambo versus John Matrix. I trust you guys have listened to the whole episode and made up your minds. I'm pretty sure I won, but we'd love to hear from you all. Again, we're Battlefight 3000, and we thank you for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed the Rambo versus John Matrix show.
Yeah. If you have any comments, questions, statements, or future battle ideas, please feel free to hit us up by email at battlefight3000@gmail.com. Or we're on Twitter at battlefight3000.
Now for the important stuff.
Okay. We need you to vote on who won the fight, and we need you to vote for John Matrix.
Yes, please. John Rambo, when you get the chance. Please vote on our poll on our Twitter feed. Again, that's at Battlefight3000.
If you don't vote, we will be stick fighting in Thailand to determine a winner, and we don't want that.
Especially because I am really good at stick fighting. I grew up in a third world country. Therefore, all we had to play with was sticks.
Yeah, I grew up in Canada, and we just had people fight with sticks for us.
But regardless, we prefer to do that for fun and not have such high stakes tied to our stick fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll announce the winner on the next show.
Until next time,
May all your fights
be battle fights.